Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Alright,
now everybody right here, please.
Squad.
Squad.
Real squad right there.
This all in the same gym too.
Same gym, that's what I said.
Now, I gotta ask you, updated thoughts. I talked to you in Las Vegas. Shakur Stevenson was out there. This was for Ward Kovalev 1.
Yes.
And we talked about a potential fight. We all want to see Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin.
Yes.
After seeing Daniel Jacobs versus Golovkin, we haven't got to see Canelo versus Chavez Jr. yet. But as of right now, has your opinion changed? You said you were picking Canelo to beat Triple G.
Actually, I think that my opinion's actually gotten stronger since then. A lot of people really hate Golovkin. I think that I don't hate Golovkin at all. I think Golovkin's a great fighter, and I think that he's just been picked by the business of HBO, and in their mindset, that's their agenda. They wanted him to be at the top, and there's nothing wrong with that. That happens to certain people, but I just feel like, really, if you ask me my opinion, I just feel like Canelo beats him in that fight. I picked Danny Jacobs and him to be a very, very good fight. People said that Jacobs was going to get knocked out in a couple rounds. I did not agree with that. I thought if Danny Jacobs did what he had to do and stayed away from him and used his range, but also fought, and because a lot of people said that he just needs to stay away from him. I didn't agree with that. I believe that he needed to really actually fight with Triple G and make himself known, and he did that in spurts, and he also boxed in spurts. And I feel like he won that fight by maybe a round or two. That's just my opinion. And that being said, I saw Triple G's inside game wasn't where it needed to be. He didn't work the body at all. He's not very good on the inside. And what's Canelo going to do? Canelo's not going out there to run from him. Canelo's got lethal combinations on the inside and on the outside. And I believe that if the same Triple G's that showed up for Jacob shows up for the Canelo fight, I think that Canelo pieces him up. Now,
Canelo did an interview, actually, I think it was yesterday, and he says he could do a little bit more, do some things subtly different than Danny Jacobs. So you think, just based on his inherent style, that would push him over the edge and make it a clear victory?
I think it would. I think it would. I think the fact that Canelo is just a different type of beast than a lot of guys in the fight game. I think that Canelo, his work on the inside and his strength, he's very strong. I think that he's actually going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's going to get in right in Triple G's chest. Triple G's used to stalking and trying to, make them their prey. He's not going to have to look for Canelo, but what he's going to see is he's not going to have to look for Canelo, but he's going to have a harder time hitting Canelo than the people he did have to hunt.
That's a good point. I like that.
He's going to be on the inside, but he's going to be like, a lot of people say, Canelo's going to get knocked out because he's right there. That's not true. I think that it's going to be harder to hit him because he's right there. He's going to think that it's going to be easier. Then he's going to get him on the inside, and he's going to be throwing his shots, and he's going to be like, he's here, but I'm not hitting him. And
Canelo clearly has a better defense.
And I'm getting hit. I'm throwing punches, missing, and he's hitting me before I even know what happened. That's what I believe is going to happen. So.
Now, I got to show something to you. Lift it up a little.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's Canelo in his form right now for his fight with Chavez Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think? How's he looking to you?
He's beefed up, man. I think that this fight with Chavez Jr. really shows us something about the Triple G fight. I think that it's gonna be this is gonna be our test for the size, because obviously if he wins. If he gets in there and fights strength for strength with Chavez Jr., then no one's going to be able to say anything about. I already don't say anything about the strength between him and Triple G, but if we see him, fight toe to toe with Chavez Jr. and outmuscle him, then no one's going to be able to say anything. So I think that the way this is playing out, more and more people are going to start to, even the people who don't want to admit it, are going to start to be able to say, okay, Canelo is going to be a problem for Triple G. Nobody thought that, and that might even be their plan. That might even be their plan, which is why I said that I think that he's fighting Chavez Jr. in the first place to kind of show that he can get in there with somebody a lot bigger. So
I gotta put you on the spot. What is harder, Canelo moving from his last fight at 154 to 164.5 to fight Chavez Jr. in his style, or let's say he beats Chavez Jr. and then fights Golovkin at 160? What's the harder fight stylistically, and then do you think he'll have an easier time? Oh, not necessarily easier, but do you think having that experience at the weight would help him in the Golovkin fight?
I'll say this: I think that Canelo has less advantages in the Chavez fight than he does than the Gennady fight. I think he's got more advantages. Like in that fight, Gennady versus Canelo, I pick Canelo all the way up. Like I don't see much that shows me that Gennady can beat Canelo.
That style.
But Chavez's size alone against Canelo, you can't say it's not going to add some suspense and add some drama to that fight. I mean, that's a big advantage. And Canelo's had to, muscle isn't everything. He had to make the weight, and he put on the muscle to make the weight. But muscle can hurt a fighter. We might see a totally different Canelo in a good way or a bad way with all this muscle on him. Because you can see, like, even his traps, like, he's very, very big. That can bind him up. That can bind a fighter up. So you never know. It could help him or it could hurt him. You never know. But there's a lot of drama in this fight because Chavez does have a lot of advantages.
Definitely, spoken like a true vet. When can we see you and Mikhail fight? When do you guys fight?
Oh man, I made the decision that we were gonna fight in a tournament, but my dad was actually working for Andre Berto for his camp, so it was right in between the fight. The tournament was right in between that time, and like I said, my education being in these camps and watching Andre Berto spar, train day in and day out has been. I've done national tournaments. I've won 9 of them. This would have just been another one of them, and not being cocky, I mean, I've been to a lot of tournaments, but these opportunities to watch Berto train every day was bigger than that. And,
priceless.
It's something different, it's priceless, that I needed to be at, and my dad is working the corner for the fight, so we weren't going to leave that, so that's definitely, that was our big moment.
So that was the opportunity. No, that's definitely a good decision. Now, last question, Berto versus Porter. From seeing Berto, what strengths does he bring, does he carry into a fight with the guy who's rough, going to be in front of you like Porter?
You know what, he's got so much explosive power that, anybody who runs into him with 8-ounce gloves on, that is what his big advantage is. He's so fast and explosive. That's the thing about it. So Porter's got a lot of strengths as well, but him running in, he's a little sloppy. Him running in, I've said when people ask me who I'm picking for that fight, I really feel like Berto is gonna land a big uppercut or a big hook that's gonna cause some problems, I think, early on. I've seen it in sparring. I've seen it when he's working in the gym, just how explosive he is. So I feel.
You know what's funny? I just interviewed Kareem Mayfield. Said the same exact words. Explosive. Everyone keeps saying explosive, so it must be.
Come,
and he's sparring with them, so it must be.
It'll come like in no time. You never, you're not seeing.
You can't predict it.
You can't predict it, and all of a sudden, pow, pow, and it's just big shots, big body shots, and I just think that the game plan that he's got coming in, I think is gonna be solid.
So, the fact that Adrian Broner, who kind of moved up and then moved down, was able to drop Sean Porter in the 12th. Yeah. You think Berto definitely has the pop to?
Well, I think Berto's got power for power as good as anybody in the welterweight division, maybe the best. So I think that, and Broner was a small welterweight, very small welterweight, and he could drop him. And I believe that Berto's definitely got the power to drop anybody. So yes, he's got the power to drop Sean Porter for sure.
I was gonna let you off the hook, but I gotta ask you now. You said he has the power to drop anybody.
Yeah.
Does that make you appreciate Floyd Mayweather's skill set? Because within that particular fight, Berto, you're saying how explosive he is, how fast he is, and he just could not corner Floyd to get the right trajectory on his shots.
Yeah, man, Berto had a great game plan going into that fight.
And he was in shape, you see him?
Yeah, Berto had a great game plan going into that fight. They had everything down to a T, and people don't give Berto a lot of credit for that, because Berto that whole fight didn't really get hit with anything like oh my gosh, like crazy shot. Maybe in the last round he got hit with that uppercut, but as far as his hooks, his check hooks, he was catching his check hooks. He knew when Floyd was waiting to pull back and miss his jab and hit him with the right hand. He knew when that stuff was coming, and he's just had it down. He was catching it. But Floyd was so elusive, and like Berto said, at his age, he was so alert and just really neutralized everything Berto had to do, and he had a lot coming into that fight. He was ready, he was focused, it was the fight of his life, and Floyd was able to neutralize all that, so that's a lot of credit to Floyd, definitely.
Definitely. Where can the fans stay in touch with you? You definitely talk good boxing.
Thank you. Go follow me at Joey D. Spencer on Instagram. Go look me up on YouTube. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joey.
Appreciate it.